It's Divine D. Yeah, that's she. Remix. I don't know why they think she couldn't do it. God, I see the light. No more hiding in the dark. You never tore me apart. I got a vision with a mission. Melodies never keep missing. I'm a Christian on a mission that may fall short with slip ups and hiccups. God, I'ma need a pickup. It's Divine D. That she, and welcome back. Hey chosen ones, and welcome back to another video with your girl. And in today's video, I am basically going to be explaining to you guys how I planned the trip to New Jersey, my 21st birthday trip that I planned to New Jersey. I'm going to be explaining how I planned it. I'm going to be explaining the prices, my reviews on everything, and I'm also going to be probably answering some questions that you have to basically clear up anything that you may be thinking, or even answering anything that you may want to know. And just to clarify, I am making this video so you guys can get tips and tricks on how to plan your future trips, of things that you may not know how to do, and to give you guys ideas. So without further ado, make sure you grab your cup of water or your drink of choice and sit here, because it's going to be a while, because your girl has a lot of rambling to do. I'm about to give you all the details that y'all have been waiting for. So grab your cup of water, grab your drink of choice, get your snack, and sit here and get your notepad and pen ready, because your girl is going to drop some gems that you may want to know. Okay, so first things first, when planning a trip, you need to first clear your mindset. And I'm going to say clear your mindset because a lot of people may think about, oh, when I go on a trip, I'm going to be broke. If I go on a trip, I'm going to spend so much money. And I want you to erase that thought right now, because I'm about to tell you how to do this with a good mindset. And I also want you to block out the mindsets of anybody else around you that may think, oh, just because you're going on a trip, that you have money, that you're rich, now you've made it. Baby girl, sir, ma'am, whoever you are. It's not always the case. People work hard for what they can do. People work hard to do things. They work hard to earn a living. And what they do with their money is what they do. But people can do more with their money depending on how they use their money. If you're smart with your money, you can go far. If you're not smart with your money, then that's a whole other story. The next thing I want you to do is make sure you create or come up with a place that you want to go to, wherever you want to go. When I was planning this trip, yes, it was a group trip, and I'm going to get to that. Because I was considerate of everybody else around me, I gave everybody a choice of where we wanted to go. I had a whole list of places. After providing a list of those places, I wasn't really getting feedback, so I picked the place myself. So the first thing you want to come up with is the place. Obviously, where would you like to go? That is the first question. Where would you like to go? Once you have figured out where you would like to go, you want to be able to say, okay, now that I have figured out the place that I want to go, how many days am I spending? Okay, am I spending 3 days? Am I spending 4 days? Am I spending 5 days? How many days am I going to be there for? How many days? How many nights? Once you have that number, that makes everything so much easier, because that's going to carry your planning throughout the rest of the way. Now that you have decided that, you want to keep in mind not only yourself, but the people that you're going with, of their interests, the things that they like, the things that they can't do, the things that they can do, the things that may be too much for them or less. So you have to keep those things in mind, not just thinking about yourself, unless this is a solo trip. Once you've thought about that, you can go ahead and get your ideas of things that you want to do while you're there for those course of the few days. And that includes where you want to go for each day. That includes what you want to do for that day, what you want to eat for each day. You also want to consider the price of those things, because your trip is going to need a budget. That should have gone before places is the budget. How much do you expect to spend? And anytime you do something, anytime you go somewhere, it is great to have a budget. A budget should always be your top priority, no matter what you're doing, so you don't break the bank. Okay? Because at the end of the day, we still need money to do other things. And when I tell you guys how much money I personally spent on this trip, I'm not going to go into details of everybody else's because that's their business. I'm comfortable with sharing my things, but I'm not going to expose anybody else's things. But I will get to that later in this video because you guys will be shocked. It's actually going to blow your mind. But a budget is necessary in all things. So you're going to say, okay, my budget for food will be this price. My budget for excursions or whatever you want to call it, things to do, fun things to do, activities, that's another bubble. Your rental or however you're getting there, transportation, whether it's a train, the bus, or Uber, a rental car, the plane, whatever. You need to create another bubble for that. And then you need a bubble for the living. How are you going to sleep? Are you going to a friend's house? Are you staying with a family member? Are you going to a hotel? Are you going to an Airbnb? Create a bubble for that. I think I've gotten everything on there. Oh, also, you're spending money. Spending money. That is a big thing. You're spending money. Create a bubble for that too. And whatever you total up, that's going to be your total expense that you don't want to go over. And now that you have it broken down, it makes it so much easier. It makes everything so much more organized. And when you create a budget, I want you to be realistic with your budget. I don't want you to be unrealistic because it will cause you to create false hope for yourself and false hope for the people that you're going with. You need to be very realistic with your budget. I don't want you to say, oh, I'm going on a trip for 7 days and my budget for an Airbnb or hotel is $200. For the complete total of 7 days for just an Airbnb or hotel. That's not realistic. You know good and well that that's not realistic because you're not going to get anything for that price for those entire 7 days. That's unrealistic. So I want you to be realistic with your budget, okay? Realistic with today's prices, realistic. Very realistic. I went with it was a group of 5. It was me, my boyfriend, and 3 friends. So that was a group of 5. We all put up a certain amount of money. I will not say that amount of money because obviously what I post are things that I'm comfortable posting with. And I'm not ever going to put anybody else's business out there if I have not asked them first. And I don't want you guys to think that this trip was planned in one time. That's another thing. When you plan your trips, make sure you plan ahead of time. Don't throw everything together at last minute because your prices are going to be way more expensive, number one, when you start planning at last minute. And 2, it just makes things too chaotic, not just for you, but for everybody else. People need time. They also need time to save. So please plan your trips months ahead. I think as long as you plan a trip at least 5 months or prior to however long you're going, that's perfect. But if you're planning a trip and the trip is next month, like a month from now or 2 months from now, just look, I got stuff falling, okay? I knew that I wanted to go on this trip since May. Once I finished planning the trip, it was planned by by June 1st. And by June 1st, I had sent out a message to everybody, inviting them, telling them how much it was going to cost, telling them what they could expect, telling them what we were going to do, and all of the details. I had it ready to go. Mind you, my birthday's in March. I had this planned out since May. I sent out invitations June 1st. That means June, July, August, September, October, November, December, January, February, March. So 9 months. 9 months was a good time to save. I even gave everybody the option that if they needed some tips and tricks on how to save their money, that they could put either like $50 aside after every 2 weeks, or they could put $50 aside a month, or they can either put $100 aside a month. Whatever you could put up a month would help you because it allows you to save more. If you could put more than that, go ahead and do so. But that was just my little tip and trick for them here. I'm going to start with the car rental because that was our way of transportation, was the rental. I did my car rental through Turo. A lot of people will say it's hard to book a trip if you're under 21. They will say it's hard to book a trip if you're under 25. Because for the longest, everybody has known car rentals to be, oh, you can't get a rental unless you're 25 and up. You can't get a hotel or Airbnb unless you're 18 and up or whatever. I don't know the case. But I'm telling y'all how I did this, okay? But for the car rentals, you can book a car. You can book a car at any car rental place that you would like, as long as you're 18 and up. Sorry, I had to think about it. As long as you're 18, I think. Yeah, as long as you're 18 and up, you can book a car rental. However, if you are under 21 in most cases, and for some vehicles, if you're under 25, you will be having to pay a young driver's fee, which is an extra amount of money per day because you're young. However, I booked through Turo. Turo is a car rental company that is really kind of difficult to explain. It's not difficult to explain, but I don't know how to put this. So you know how there's Airbnb? Turo is like Airbnb, but for cars, if that makes sense. So Turo allows you to rent people's cars through the app. So Turo itself is the company, but they have people in your area that list their vehicles that either they no longer drive or either they just have an extra vehicle or they want to make extra money. They list their vehicles on that app, charging a certain amount of money for people to be able to book their car for a certain amount of days, whether it's days, months, whatever. Every person is different that's on there. You just put in where you're looking for. You can put in how many seats that you need in the car. You can put in anything that you're looking for, whether you want an automatic, electric, anything, whatever you need. You put that into the app and they will generate your searches and they will give you a list of cars that you can rent for in your area, and they will tell you where you need to pick it up from or if the seller drops it to you. All the messages are through the Turo app. So it's not like you have to go outside and know where to contact them. No, it's all within the app. I was able to message her and she told me exactly how my drop off and pickup process would go. But not only that, they also already have that in the Turo app of how your drop off and pickup should go, how the instructions are, what should be followed. So for us, we just had to let her know when we were on our way to pick up the vehicle. And she left the keys in the car and left the vehicle unlocked 5 minutes before we were there to pick it up. And once we were in, we just start our car and we go. Obviously, you take your pictures before to get your evidence of anything and start the car up and go. All that she required is that when we're done, we fill it up with a full tank of gas and drop it right back off to her house. Put the keys under the mat. Make sure to leave the door unlocked so she could obviously get back in the car. And that's as simple as that. I was satisfied. I would personally rate my Turo experience a 5-star. A 5-star. And a lot of people can have mixed reviews on Turo because some people have had good experiences. Some people have had bad experiences. Some people have had okay experiences. It really depends on who your seller is, on who you're renting the vehicle from. But that is also why you should check their ratings, because Turo has the ratings of that everybody has left on the seller and on the vehicle. So real people tell you their reviews on the seller, on how their attitude was, and they tell you their reviews on the car, if the car was good or not. And they also have pictures. So you should pay attention to those things as well. But me personally, my experiences was 5 out of 5 stars. The $347, mind you, the $347 was only my price because I'm a young driver. When I booked the car, remember, I was still 20. So my license did not say 21 yet. If I was 21, because Turo, if it's not a luxury car and you're 21 and over, you don't get the young driver's fee. Unless it's a luxury car, of course, unless it's like a fancy car. But when you're 21 and up, you don't get the young driver's fee. But because I was 20, I still had to pay the young driver's fee, which was about an extra, I don't think it was a lot, honestly. It was probably just like an extra $50 or $60 to my total, or maybe, yeah, the extra $50 or $60 to my total. And then also you can add your liability insurance to the Turo app per rental. You can do a minimum, you can do a medium, and you can do the highest one. I did the minimum one because I trusted myself and my boyfriend, who were the main ones in charge of ensuring that the car was going to get to the destination safely and back safely. Okay, the Airbnb was phenomenal. When I say phenomenal, it was phenomenal. And when I tell you that was my first time using Airbnb or even going to an Airbnb, and my experiences was a 5 out of 5 stars once again, a 5 out of 5 stars. And I will tell you this, the Airbnb was amazing. It was amazing, okay? It was amazing. Originally, I had picked a different Airbnb. Oh, excuse me. Originally, I had picked an Airbnb that was just a 2-bedroom, and it was a very small apartment. It was only 2 bedrooms and 1 bathroom. And I was like, that's a lot for 5 people. You know what I mean? Like, not a lot, but it's like too small for 5 people. That's very overwhelming for 5 people, especially for 3 women, to be having to share 1 bathroom along with 2 men. 2 men, 3 women sharing 1 bathroom and 2 bedrooms. It's just, it's too much. And the apartment was very tiny. Not saying it wasn't doable. The amount of people it held was still 7, but it was too, I just didn't like it. So I changed it. Even though that Airbnb, I would be paying no more than $400. So it was cheaper. But I changed it because I wanted everybody to be comfortable. I wanted everybody to be able to breathe, for it to be functional. So I didn't want anybody to feel uncomfortable. I wanted everybody to have their space. So I ended up going back with my original choice of Airbnb, and that's the one that we stayed in. I love Airbnb because once you put in the amount of guests that you are staying with, and you put in the place and your budget of what you want or what you're looking for, it will calculate your searches. Once again, it will pop up your search. You can put in your price range, you can put in what you're looking for, and it pops all of that up for you. So your Airbnb will tell you the price for the amount of days. Some Airbnbs have a cleaning fee and some don't. Ours didn't, because our cleaning fee was actually included into the Airbnb price. So sometimes the Airbnb cleaning fee is already included, sometimes it's not, and they'll just add it on to your fee and you can see it. So they will add that most times. Ours didn't, like I said. And you'll have taxes incorporated. The tax on Airbnb is a little high. But you do have the tax fee, and then you have obviously your just regular total. So it does show you all of that for the amount of days that you put in. It will show you your entire total of what you expect to spend, besides tax, of course, until you completely check out. But it will show you all of that. In addition to that, your Airbnb that you click on will have all the pictures there. It will also have a description of who your host is. You can click on that to see your host picture, your host interests, things that they like, things that they did in their past lives, or things that they accomplished. It shows you all of that. It also tells you about your Airbnb. A lot of hosts include how far major things are, such as like train stations, airports, and fun things, or major fun things that are known for or popular in that area. They include how far all of that is most of the times. They also include their rules, their expectations, their checkout, and their check-in time. They explain their check-in instructions and their checkout instructions, how they want you to leave the place, all the amenities that they have included, and the things that they have included within the Airbnb. They also include, at the bottom, Airbnb has like a nice little section for you that they include things that you can book on into addition to your Airbnb. And most of those things are like spa treatments, photographers, or chefs, or any of that can come directly to your Airbnb if you just book it under there, because it's a built-in section that will be included into your Airbnb price. Of course, it's an extra fee, but it's cheaper than their normal fee. So you get that in there, and they can add it onto your Airbnb total. So that way, if you want a chef to come to your Airbnb to cook for you, or you want a massage or a photographer or a makeup artist, a hairstylist, they can come directly to you. Airbnb has that. And of course, just like you can communicate with your host through Airbnb, you can communicate with those people as well. It was around $650. It was like $643, which was not too bad because it was a very big apartment. It was 3 bedrooms, 2 full bathrooms, a nice kitchen, and a living room. And they also had a patio and a driveway. In the city, a driveway. I was like, a driveway so we could park and not park on the street. Okay. So that's what we had included. And we had access to all of the pots, the pans. They literally had a lot of stuff in that kitchen. They had pots, pans, utensils, a strainer, glass cups, pizza cutter, all of that type of stuff. They had a blender. They had a coffee machine. They had a teacup. They had free coffee, free sugar, free cookies, free creamer, an air fryer. The fridge had an ice maker, so that was beautiful. Because when I tell y'all, the water out the fridge was so good. Like, I mean, they had free bottles of water for us, complimentary waters, but the water out the fridge was so much better than the complimentary waters in the water bottle. Like, the fridge had like an automatic water dispenser with ice, and when I tell you that water was so good, I don't know what about it was so good, but that water was amazing. Our shower waters were hot, okay? Like, the water, I was having such trouble with the water at the sink, and I don't really mean that in a bad way, because when I tell you the water was so hot, like the water was boiling hot. I went to go wash my dish out, and I turned it a little bit to the right, and that water was so hot. It was so hot to the point it was burning my skin. I was like, okay, put it back on cold, put it back on hot, put it back on cold, put it back. But the water was so hot. Same for our showers. But it was fabulous. They included towels in the bathroom, more than enough towels. When I tell you I had 3 makeup towels in our bathroom, because me and my boyfriend had our own bathroom in our room. 3 makeup towels, black 3 makeup towels that were labeled for makeup. Free makeup wipes in addition to that. They provided free makeup wipes, free floss, a hairdryer. I didn't need the hairdryer though. They had multiple toilet tissues. They made sure to leave like 3 or 4 toilet tissue rolls in each bathroom. They left 2 paper towel rolls in the kitchen, a new clean sponge. I don't know what they didn't have. For the bathroom towels in our bathroom, there was 4, because I think they had 2 on the bed, and then they had 3 in the bathroom and like 1 in the closet. Like, what do we need all these towels for? I mean, there was so many towels in one room. I don't even know how many towels were in the other rooms in the other bathroom, but it was so many towels. And then like 2 hand towels, like 8 washcloths in one bathroom. When I tell you there was already 6 or 8 pillows on our bed already, and they had extra pillows in the closet and an extra king size bed blanket in the closet. They had so much in a walk-in closet. I was like, that's in one bedroom, by the way. I don't even know how much towels was in the other bedrooms and in their bathroom. I can't even imagine. It was just so much. And they already had your soaps, your lotion, your shampoo. They had that already. So if you forgot your soap, you could access theirs. But the girls' room did have a twin-size bed and a full-size bed. In the other room, it was a queen-size bed. In our room, it was a king-size bed. Their maximum guest for that Airbnb, I believe, was 7. They do tell you a maximum guest that you can have for each Airbnb, and I think the maximum guest was 7. But to be honest, I feel like it could be more than 7 people. I feel like it could be more than 7 people because if you look at it, the couch was so huge, and you had 2 spots on the couch that go all the way back, and the foot comes out. That couch alone could be a bed for 2 people. That full-size bed in the room, if it's not just a single person in there, it could be 2 people on the full-size bed, 1 person on the twin bed, 2 people in the queen-size bed, and 2 people in the king-size bed. So it really could be more guests there, to be honest. The way we were able to check in, I know you may be wondering, how do you check in? Because Airbnb, once again, is a no-face contact, which our day and age seems to love, and I'm not mad at it at all. Our era seems to love no face contact, and I can't be mad. So I know you may be wondering, how did you check in? How did you get into the place? What did you do? Well, with Airbnb, majority of the rentals are those keypad locks. So that's what it was for us. We enter the code and it would unlock, and then literally 15 seconds after we got in, the door would automatically lock back. You can still manually lock it, but it locks back automatically. Because on Airbnb, not only do you get to rate the host, but the host gets to rate you. And guess why? So when you book another Airbnb, the host can approve whether they want you to stay there or not. Because when you book an Airbnb, it doesn't automatically just go through. Yeah, you get your payment and everything, but you also have to wait for the host to say, yes, you can stay here, or no, you cannot. I had an amazing experience. Our host was Katia and our co-host was Clayton. On the Airbnb, for that specific Airbnb, it says the opposite, but they are like team members. I don't know if they're partners, like if they're married or not, or if they're just like friends that team up, but they're on Airbnb, there is a lot of hosts that may have like a co-host because they're working alongside with each other. On the Airbnb for that one, it says our host was Clayton and our co-host was Katia, but I think Katia was our host and Clayton was our co-host because Katia was one who was mainly answering me and giving me all the details and stuff. So I think she was the host of that one. Katia actually has 4 Airbnbs and she's the co-host of 1 Airbnb. So together that makes 5. So if you are ever staying in New Jersey, please book with Katia and Clayton because they are phenomenal hosts, okay? And if you go on Airbnb right now and look up their what do you call it? If you go on Airbnb and you look up their other Airbnbs, you will see how phenomenal it is. Like all of their Airbnbs are so clean, so nice, so well decorated, so home vibe, so cozy. I heard one of my friends when we walked into that Airbnb, the moment we walked in, she said, "Oh, this is nice." And I was like, "Girl, isn't it?" I'm like, "Oh, this is nice. Oh, this is you right here. Okay." And I smell like roaches in here are nothing.
Ooh, this is nice. Girl, this is you right here? Okay. They don't smell like roaches in here or nothing.
Okay, now that the main things are out the way, I can hurry up and speed through the rest of this video now with the things that we did and rating those places. The first thing that we did when we got there, because our check-in was not until 4 p.m. Yeah, somewhere around there. Because our check-in was not until 4 p.m., the first thing that we did was went to American Dream Ball. American Dream Ball never disappoints me. Okay, they never disappoint me. there's not much I can really say because there's so much to do at that mall. It's kind of hard to rate it anywhere beneath 5 stars. So it was a 5 out of 10. Not out of 10. Sorry, a 5 out of 5 stars for me. It never disappoints. There's so much to do. You can have so much fun. I did have an escape room booked for us when we got there. And the escape room was a little costly, but for the price that was paid, I believe the escape room was $45 a person. Yes, $45 a person. And I was able to get a Groupon. Okay, so y'all want some good deals? Go to Groupon. Don't say I didn't warn you. I told you I'm a budgeter. I'm a saver. Hit up Groupon. I don't care if you're just going on a regular. No, go to Groupon. You will get some good discounts, some good deals. Okay, I that's how I got that good deal. Okay, okay, because I'm gonna tell y'all right now. The original price for all of us, because it was $45 a person originally, was supposed to come up to like, I don't know, $240. I got the total of $180 for us. $180 for all of us compared to the original price. $180 from Groupon. Run, don't walk. As we went to Cherry's Lounge for dinner, and I would like to give Cherry's Lounge a 4 out of 5 stars. I want to say a 4 out of 5 stars, and I thought about it before I said it because I wanted to give them a 5 so bad, but I give them a 4 out of 5 stars. And I say that because I do know and understand that Cherry's Lounge has been there for years and decades. Obviously, researching before I went there, I've seen that the place was there for years. The music wasn't too bad, but I feel like the music could have been a little bit better. The space was actually very small. I mean, it is a lounge at the end of the day, but I still feel like it was kind of small. I would love for this place to actually get an upgrade and to move to a space that's a little bit bigger. I feel like they have so much potential to be a bigger spot, but it's so tight, so squingy. Like, I feel like everybody was on top of one another. And I say that because the restaurant itself, I mean, it is a lounge, so still, it's like, obviously it's supposed to be a social place, but it was very narrow. It felt like a hallway or like a cafe than a restaurant. Like, I know it's a lounge, but it's also labeled as a restaurant, so I would like it to be like a little bit bigger. I know that's something that they probably can't help, but our table was like right here, and the other person's table was like right there. And it's just like, it was just so tight. Mind you, you also have to be mindful that it's a lounge. So that means you have the bar right there. You have people also doing hookah because there's hookah. There's people that are also drunk. And to be that close to people is just, it's a little overwhelming, to say the least. My food was good. It was very, very delicious. I had the wings and the rasta pasta. I had a rum punch and I had a water. You can say I'm being picky, but to me, it was kind of a safety hazard, was because I went in the bathroom and obviously the bathroom was narrow, and I didn't notice at first that there was a candle on the ground by the door as you're coming out. Mind you, I had on a jumper that had oversized pants legs. A candle is on the ground lit, and I understand that they want the place to smell good in the bathroom, but it's a lounge. You have an active environment where you have people drinking, getting drunk, tipsy, whatever. You have people that are smoking, getting high. And even if there wasn't, that's a hazard. I personally think that's a hazard. You can call me being picky, critiquey, but to me, that was a safety hazard. Next day, we went to Umi's buffet, which was a buffet that had over 200 different dishes. And that was good. We went to the one in... I don't know. I don't know where we went. I'll put the location if I can, if I remember to. But they have a lot of locations. So I don't remember which one we went to, but I will try to put it if I remember to put it in the editing. But the Umi's we went to was great. They had a lot of stuff. I was just, for some reason, very gassy. So it caused me to not eat as much as I wanted to, which made me very upset because I was so gassy and it was messing me up because I couldn't eat the way I wanted to because I was so gassy. Like I had a lot of gas and it was just like messing up my stomach. Like I just could not. I wanted to eat more, but the gas, like, you know, when gas makes your stomach feel like bubbly and you just got to pass gas, either pass gas or burp. And it's just like... it makes eating so much more difficult. So I still had a nice sized plate. It's just I wanted to eat more, but I liked it. I felt like the food, all my food was pretty warm. They brought out fresh trays often. They had a lot of seafood, as you guys can see. They had a very big dessert section, which I love because I love sweets. Like desserts, I love me a good dessert after I just ate a lot. There's times where I'm in the mood for dessert, and when I tell you, it's at night, and it's when I just had a lot of food to eat. So I love me a dessert. And when you go to buffets, you don't usually see a dessert section. Like, yeah, you do, but it's not like a dessert section, like a dessert bar. You may only see like those like little square sponge cake things and like a cookie or something, and then a little ice cream. That's it. This one, they had your yogurt. They had your yogurt. They had these jelly cakes. They had these Swiss roll tea cakes or whatever you call them. They had another cake. They had ice cream in the cup, but they also had ice cream sandwiches. Okay, ice cream sandwiches. And they also had, I think, this pie looking thing. It was like a pie. And they also had free unlimited boba. I don't care what nobody says. I'll take free unlimited boba over unlimited drinks any day. I don't care what nobody say. Call me crazy, but I'll take free boba, unlimited free boba over unlimited free alcohol any day. I can rock with unlimited free boba all day, every day, okay? So when I saw unlimited boba, I was happy. Even though I couldn't really drink too much of it because my gas was messing me up, but they had all different types, and I was just like, so good. But they had a lot. They had your seafood, they had your regular food, they had a nice big sushi bar, they had the hibachi in the back. It was so much going on. So much. I loved it. And I heard for dinner, they actually bring out the big king crab legs. But the dinner price is expensive because the dinner price is $45 or $50 per person at night. But we went for lunch, so we got the $25 per person. Because if you go from opening time to 3 o'clock, it's $25 per person. That's lunchtime hours. And that's only from Monday through Saturday. Yeah, Monday through Friday, sorry. Just for the weekdays. For the weekdays, it's $25 per person from opening time till 3 o'clock. But from dinner time, which is anytime after 3 o'clock, you have to pay $45 per person or $50 per person. And then on the weekends, it's $45 per person all day or $50 per person all day. So I wasn't trying to pay that $45. So we went for 25. We went for 25 because we got there for like 1, like ripe in the afternoon. We didn't do nothing later that afternoon because we went back to the Airbnb, kind of just chilled. And then later that night, we went to Albatross. That place was a 5 out of 5 stars. I could not give it no less. When I tell you, from the moment that we walked in, I felt secured. They checked us down. We couldn't even get past the door. They was like, They was not having that. They had the metal detectors scanning you up and down for like anything that could set it off. They checked your purses, bags, anything that you had. They made you open it, check it. If you had keys in your hand or keys in your bag, they had to check your keys. Because as y'all can see, my keys have a lot of stuff on it. So they checked my keys to make sure I didn't have any like knives or pocket knives or anything on there. Everything was thorough, checked. They did not play that. They did not play. They were open till 1 a.m., which was great. And they had a live DJ. And when I tell you the DJ there did his thing all across the board, the DJ was phenomenal, okay? Like, the DJ did that, okay? They had a DJ, and the DJ was amazing. They also had luxury bowling and golf. We just did the bowling. I wanted to do the golf, but for everybody's pocket's sake, we just did the bowling. But I wanted to do the golf mainly for pictures because they had each golf hole had like a different like scenery. Like one had like a purple Lambo by it, and I wanted to take a picture of that purple Lambo so bad. But they do have nice sceneries at the golf area. They also have a restaurant area in there where you can go sit down. And then they also have a big, huge bar area that looks so pretty. It's not like your regular, it's like a very nice one. And I don't know if you guys know this, but they just opened up. That place just opened up in December or October. So they're fairly new. But they also had a free photo booth there. And it was so cute because it gives you like the, what do you call it? The live photo thing. So we took pictures in there too. That was the live photo booth. That was nice. For them, their prices are $30 for bowling during Fridays through Sundays. Friday through Sunday is $30 for bowling. For, I don't know if it was for 2 hours. I think it was 2 hours. And then in the weekday, like regular weekdays, it's a little cheaper. I think it's like $25. And then for golf, it's $22 per person for 10 holes, something like that. But yeah. And if you wanted a luxury suite to have your own suite, obviously it's more money. If you wanted like a luxury lane or if you wanted a luxury suite. But the whole thing is a luxury bowling and luxury golf. So I had a great time. That was amazing. And right next to them was Supercharge, which is the largest indoor or one of the largest indoor racetracks. And then they also had indoor skydiving next to it, which was closed. I want to do that so bad. And then they also have Top Golf there as well. So all in that same little area. But Albatross was very nice. It's also very packed. So just make sure that you know there when you go there, it's going to be very packed. Very packed, but it's a vibe. Later that night, we did not go back out and eat. I thought we did, but we did not. The next day, we went to Arrow Archery, and Arrow Archery was nice. But here's a little backstory. I wanted to go to a different Arrow Archery at first. And when we got there, we heard a fire alarm going off from outside. And I was like, where's that fire alarm coming from? And when I noticed it was the building, I was like, interesting. I was like, I hear a fire alarm. I don't smell no smoke. Mind you, the place had just opened within like 10 minutes. It had just opened, 15 minutes. Like it just had opened. So I'm like, fire alarm, are you going off already? The place just opened. So I'm like, oh, let's just wait in the car because, you know, anytime the fire alarm is going off, by law, they have to evacuate the building and everybody has to wait outside until fire trucks get there. So I see one guy get out his car and he goes into the place and he comes back out. So I'm like, oh, maybe we can go in. I don't really see too many people outside. So we go, and when we go, the guy outside is like, oh, y'all trying to go in here? And we're like, yes. He's like, today, right now? And we're like, yeah. And he's like, it's not happening. I'm gonna tell you that right now, it's not happening. And we look over because they have like the whole big door open, and we look over and there's just water just pouring from the ceilings, like from everywhere, just flooding the whole place out. And he's like, yeah, the place is flooding, like it's not gonna happen. And literally as we're getting back in the car, 3 fire trucks pull up. So we're like, okay, now what? So we kind of just went to Burger King, to get like a little breakfast, to figure out like what we're gonna do. Are we gonna find something else in the area to do? Are we just gonna go back home? Are we gonna go to a different air archery place? So I look up another air archery place, and I found it for $30, which was $5 cheaper than the one that we were going to anyways. So $30 per person to the air archery. That comes with the bow included, the lane included, everything. Perfect. So I was like, all right, bet, we'll just go to that one. So that one that we went to, I was pleased. I was more than satisfied. And I give it a 5 out of 5 stars because our instructor was so sweet, so helpful. She's a very good teacher. She showed us a safety video prior to that, but prior to shooting the arrows. And then after, she gave us instructions of how to do it. And when I say she was a very good teacher, she took her time with us. And when we needed help, she would come over to us to instruct us, to help us again. And she was just so sweet, so helpful, such a good teacher. She explained everything so well. And the pricing was good. And she even hooked us up with a deal. She said, after, when we come back, since we went already, when we go back, it won't be, I guess for everybody, this deal's for, I think it's for everybody. When you go there, after your first time going there, if you come back again at any point, you go straight to booking. You don't book online next time. You come straight to her and you show that you've been here before, and you pay $20 instead the next time you go back, instead of paying $30. So next time you pay $20 instead of paying $30 the next time you come back. And for every time that you come there, it'll just be $20 from there on out. Which is great. That's a good deal. And I liked it because I had fun. She was a good teacher. It was a nice place. We got to take our papers back with us. It was fun. I liked it. I loved it a lot. 5 stars. I guess it was meant for us to go there because I had a great time. It was very fun. Loved it. But yeah, that was really it for our trip. That's literally how it went. That is the details on how much the things cost, the details on what I rated. Yeah, so if you guys want to know more, if you have any other questions, just make sure to leave a comment here. Leave a comment on any tips and tricks that you have when planning trips or vacations. And let me know what you guys think about this video. Let me know how you guys feel, your feedback. And without further ado, don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe. And without further ado, it's Divine D. All that she is out.